Anjali undo and Shruti.
Present, ma'am.
Okay. Now I'll give the summary of the things what we have learned up to now, because the next topic is very, very important. So before that, I want to conduct a quiz for you. So I will just explain what we have learned up to these 4 classes. I started with network. I have told the definition of a network. A network is nothing but it is a collection of autonomous devices interconnected by either a wired medium or a wireless medium, and that is governed by a set of rules, protocols, right? Now, after that, I have just told what is data communication. I have just explained how you can find the effectiveness of a data communication system, what are the factors it depends, and also I have just told the 5 components of a data communication system. Now, what are the 5 components of data communication system?
Message sender, receiver, transmission medium, protocol.
And the protocol. Okay, good. Now, after that, I have just gone with the transmission modes. Generally, you can have 2 categories. One is the parallel transmission, and another one is the serial transmission. And serial transmission, you can happen it in 3 ways. One is asynchronous, synchronous, and isochronous. And you have studied in detail asynchronous transmission and synchronous transmission, right? After that, one more classification was there, that is called as the simplex, half duplex, and the full duplex mode of transmission. Now, after that, we have gone with the concept of network. We have seen how you can define the criteria, what are the various criteria that determine whether the network is an effective one or an efficient one. Now, later we have gone with the physical structures of network. 2 categories are there. One is point to point and another one is multi-point. Now, after that, you have seen with the topology, the various types of topologies, and also you have seen the categories of network, mainly 3 categories: LAN, WAN, and MAN. Other than that, you have just gone with what do you understand by the term protocol and what do you understand by the term standards. Okay. Now, all of you take your mobile. I'll be just sending a link for you, everyone. Did you receive a link now in your S7EC to guest meeting group? And no, okay.
Yes.
Yes, okay. Open that, attempt that quest and submit it. You have 2 quizzes. One is the first one I have sent it just now. You answer it. Everybody, all of you, all the 15 students must answer that. എല്ലാവർക്കും കിട്ടിയോ? Okay, answer it now. Once you finish, then one more link I am sending it. Answer that also. Once you finish it, please inform me. Did you finish the first quiz? Karthik, did you finish the first quiz?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಮಿಸ್ ಸಿಕ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕ್ವಶನ್ ಹತ್ತಿನಿಲ್ಲ
Fast.
ಹಾಂ
Attempt the second one, those who have finished the first one. Did you receive the second one? Amaya, did you receive the second quiz? Okay.
Yes, miss.
Answer it. Rangit, ഏതാ ആൻസർ ചെയ്യുന്നത് ഇപ്പോ? രഞ്ജിത്ത് ഉണ്ടോ? Those who
ഇത്
have
രജിസ്റ്റർ
finished,
നമ്പർ അടിക്കുമ്പോൾ വരുന്നില്ല, സബ്മിറ്റ് അടിക്കാനാവുന്നില്ല.
ഏതിന്റെ സെക്കൻഡ് ക്വിസോ?
ഫസ്റ്റ്
എന്താ
രജിസ്റ്റർ നമ്പർ നമ്മൾ എക്സാം രജിസ്റ്റർ നമ്പറിൽ അടിക്കണ്ടേ? അതല്ലേ?
ഏതെങ്കിലും റോൾ നമ്പർ രജിസ്റ്റർ നമ്പർ.
പക്ഷെ അത് അടിച്ചിട്ട് വരുന്നില്ല.
അമയ സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്തോ?
അത് റോൾ നമ്പർ അടിക്കണ്ടേ? റോൾ നമ്പർ അടിച്ചു.
Roll number വരുന്നത്. Okay, any number, whichever
Ah,
is
okay.
there. One Afla, two is Ajmina, like that. I can make out your name. You are writing, no? That.
മിസ് ഫസ്റ്റ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി.
Second one.
വെയിറ്റ് ആക്കാം.
ഹലോ മിസ്സേ,
Do.
ഇത് രജിസ്റ്റർ നമ്പർ അടിക്കാൻ കഴിഞ്ഞാൽ ലാസ്റ്റത്തെ ഡിജിറ്റ് മാത്രം അടിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടേ. 014 മാത്രമേ അടിച്ചിട്ടുള്ളൂ.
Okay, that is enough. നോട്ട്ബുക്ക് നോക്കിയാന്നോ അറ്റംപ്റ്റ് ചെയ്യുന്നേ? ക്വസ്റ്റ്യൻ വായിച്ചിട്ട് ഓർമ്മയിൽ നിന്ന് എഴുത്. Yes, 3 more minutes for all of you. Okay, Amaya completed first one and second one. Okay. Those who have completed, please inform me.
മാം ഫസ്റ്റ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്ത്.
ആരാ അത്? കാർത്തിക.
നച്ചികേതസ്
ആയതേ ഉള്ളോ? മേക്ക് ഇറ്റ് ഫാസ്റ്റ്.
ഒന്ന് നേരത്തെ
രണ്ടെണ്ണം കഴിഞ്ഞോ? ഓക്കെ. ജ്യോതിഷ് നിങ്ങൾ മെസ്സേജ് ചെയ്യണമെന്നില്ല, ഓറലി പറഞ്ഞാലും മതി. ബിക്കോസ് ദാറ്റ് മച്ച് ടൈം ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് ടേക്കിംഗ്. നോ,
രണ്ടും കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയി.
പേര് പറ.
രണ്ടും കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി.
ആര്? നീരജാന്നോ?
നീരജ്. നീരജ്.
കാവ്യ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയി.
കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയി.
ദൃശ്യ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി.
ഓക്കെ.
കാവ്യ.
അശ്വിന കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി. ഓക്കെ.
ഞാൻ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി. ഞാൻ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി. ജ്യോതിഷ് രണ്ടെണ്ണം കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി.
ശരി. തുല്യയുടെ അനക്കമൊന്നുമില്ലല്ലോ. പിന്നെ ആരാ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തേക്കുന്നത്? ശ്രുതി.
മിസ് ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞേ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആയി.
അഞ്ജലി.
മിസ് ഞാൻ കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി.
Okay. Vaishnav? Vaishna?
ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗಿ
Okay.
ഒരു മിനിറ്റ്
മിസ്സേ ನಾನು ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ആക്കി അതുല്യ
രണ്ടാമത്തെ ചെയ്തോണ്ടിരുന്നോ?
Atulya complete ആക്കിയോ?
ആ മിസ് ഇപ്പം
Okay.
മിസ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി.
Rangeet complete ആക്കിയോ?
മിസ് കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ആക്കി കേട്ടോ.
Rangeet ആണോ?
അല്ലല്ല, കാർത്തിക്.
Okay. Now 2 more are left, Rangeet and Vaishnav. സ്ഥലത്തുണ്ടോ Rangeet and Vaishnav? Vaishnav? Vaishnav complete ചെയ്തോ?
ഹലോ,
കംപ്ലീറ്റ് ചെയ്തോ കുഞ്ഞേ?
മിസ് ഇപ്പൊ സബ്മിറ്റ് കൊടുക്കാം. ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞ് സബ്മിറ്റ് കൊടുക്കട്ടെ.
കൊടുത്തു വേഗം. Now one more is there, Rangeet, submit ചെയ്തോ?
മിസ് ഈ സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്തെന്ന് പറഞ്ഞു.
ചെയ്തോ? ഓക്കെ, ശരി.
നേരത്തെ പറയുന്ന കേട്ടു നീ.
ഞാൻ കേട്ടില്ലല്ലോ. Okay, now
മിസ് സബ്മിറ്റ് ചെയ്ത്.
all of you have submitted, I suppose. Okay. എഴുതാൻ പറ്റിയോ? എളുപ്പമല്ലായിരുന്നോ? കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നോ? നീരജ്,
ആ മിസ്.
കൺഫ്യൂഷൻ എന്തെങ്കിലും ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നോ ആൻസർ ചെയ്യുന്നതിൽ?
ഇല്ല ചെയ്തിന്.
Now next week ഞാൻ രാവിലെ പറഞ്ഞു you will be having a test again. So അത് Wednesday 2 hours I have got. So 1 hour you will be having a test. Similar, maybe it will be multiple choice or a little bit short answer type. So prepare for that. ഇന്ന് വൈകിട്ട് ഇതുവരെ പഠിപ്പിച്ച, I mean whatever portion I am coming up to Monday, you will be having for the test on Wednesday. Okay. So prepare for that, read the textbook nicely, then refer the PPT, and the textbook is enough for the first module because it is easily understand. I mean, you can easily understand by reading that textbook. Okay. Now, shall we start? Now, the next topic, what you are going to see is the network models. Very, very, very important. Usually, most of the questions will be asked from this topic, network models. Now, generally, we use the concept of layering in networks. We use the concept of layering in networks. So, in order to understand that layering concept, I am telling an analogy. In your screen, you can just see a diagram, task involved in sending a letter. Actually, we are making use of the concept of layers in our day-to-day life. Now, suppose 2 friends wants to communicate through postal mail. Now, what are the tasks involved in sending a letter? Now, look into the diagram. You can just see at the center side, the first activity, what is taking place is, what you have to do when you want to send a letter to your friend. The first thing is, you have to write the letter, put it in an envelope, write the address from and to address, and you have to drop it in a mailbox, right? That is the first activity. Now the second activity is the letter is carried from the mailbox to a post office. Now the third one is the letter is delivered to a carrier by the post office. Now this parcel or this letter, it will be carried from source to destination. You have got many ways in carrying. Maybe if the receiver is in a far place, you have to transmit it. I mean, you have to parcel that thing through a plane or a train or a truck or a bus or a boat, whatever can be the medium, right? If you from the post office, if it wants to reach the receiver post office. Now, at the receiver, what happens? The letter is delivered from the carrier to the post office. The letter is carried from the post office to the mailbox, and letter is picked up. And finally, it is picked up and removed from the envelope and read. Okay, so these are the different tasks or the activities involved in sending a letter. Okay, so once the activity, so what I mean to say is you are having a hierarchy of tasks here, the order in sending a letter. So as far as the sender side is concerned, if I'm considering now all these activities, I can mention it as higher layer, middle layer, and lower layer. Now, what are the activities taking place at the center side as far as higher layer are concerned? Higher layer, at higher layer, the letter will be written, put it in an envelope and dropped it in the mailbox. Now, middle layer, it is carried from the mailbox to the post office. Now, at the lower layer, it is delivered to the carrier by a post office. Now, it is carried at the destination. Lower layer, what happens? Receiver side, it is delivered from the carrier to the post office. Middle removed and read the letter. Okay, so these are the activities taking place when you are sending a letter. Now I told you are having a hierarchy of tasks here. Hierarchy of task in the sense, until and unless you are not writing the letter, you cannot put it in that mailbox, right? You have to write a letter in order to put it in the mailbox, right? So that is, so you are having a hierarchy. First you have to do that, then you have to do the next. Then the letter can be read, or I mean, once you reaches the letter reaches your friend, the letter has to be read if it is dropped in her mailbox. Like if it is not put it in the mailbox, the letter cannot be taken it and read. So what I mean to say is you are having a hierarchy of tasks here. And you are having some services also. That is, each layer is using the service of the layer below it. The meaning is higher layer is taking the service of the middle layer. Middle layer is taking the service of the lower layer. Lower layer takes the service of the medium, right? Okay. Now at the receiver side also this happens. So at the center side, if you are consider, each layer is making use of the service of the layer immediately below it, right? So this is the concept just I told as an analogy for understanding the concept of layering in networks. Whatever things we are doing in our day-to-day life, we use the concept of layers. So this layering, so once we are defining or dividing it into different layers, the task is becoming an easier one. Okay. So the same concept, the layering mechanism is happening in networks also. Okay. So in networks, actually, you are having two types of layering mechanism. The first one is called the OSI layering mechanism. OSI means Open System Interconnection. The first layering mechanism used in networks is the OSI layering mechanism, and that is being developed by the OSI group from the ISO. So it is called it as ISO OSI model. ISO is International Standards Organization. They are the organization and the OSI is the model. Okay, so the first type of layering mechanism is the ISO OSI model. Now, the second type of layering mechanism used in networks is the TCP/IP. It is also called it as the Internet model. TCP/IP, Transmission Control Protocol, Internet Protocol. So that is the second model. Now, what is the difference between these two types of models? These two models are very, very important. You have got different functions and you have got different layers and you have to study all the functions of each layer, etc., etc. Okay, so layering mechanism is used in networks also if you want to transfer the data from the source side to the destination side. I have told two layering. As far as network designers are considered, you have got two types of layering mechanism. One is the ISO OSI layering mechanism and the other one is the TCP/IP layering mechanism. Now, what is the difference between these two? Again, I am telling the difference with an analogy. Now, suppose we are going to arrange a birthday party. Okay, now two ways you can arrange that birthday party. One is the ad hoc solution. Ad hoc solution means whenever the necessity comes, you are doing it immediately. Okay, you are not planning anything. You are just going ahead with that, whatever things you have. So what I told is you are arranging a birthday party. So the first method you can arrange that birthday party is in an ad hoc manner. That means whatever facilities you have at that time, you will be arranging it and you will be just proceeding with the party. Now, maybe some mistakes will be there because you don't know what all things you require for a birthday party. So that mistakes will be there. So in the next time when you arrange, what you will do, you will make betterly arranged then. You will know what were the drawbacks when I arranged for the first time. Then making it correct, you will be arranged for the second time. Now, once you arrange it now you will be very perfect in arranging the birthday party. Now, as far as birthday party is considered, the cake is the most important thing that you require. Cake, candle, and knife. And other than the decorating materials, this is very, very important. So the first solution, what I have told is a practical solution. Practically, you are experimenting the things and you are reaching your goal. Okay, so that is one method of arranging the birthday party. So you will be making use of an ad hoc solution. So what all necessary things you have, what all things you have at present, you will be making use of that and you will be arranging the party. Each time when you arrange, it will be some imperfections will be there. So that all imperfections will be perfect in the final stage. Okay, and you won't be taking your decorating materials, but the cake will be there obvious. Right? Now the second one is the other solution. What is the other solution? You will be planning for that birthday party ahead. You will be writing it in paper, what are the things that is required. You will be taking the decisions from all the people, all the members in that family, elder people. Maybe they won't know how to arrange the birthday party. So you might be not knowing it, but then also you will take the advice from them also. So everything you will be writing in the paper, you will be arranging it and you will be arranging that party. But sometimes you may be forgetting the cake there, which is very, very, you will be arranging the decorating material, everything and all. You won't be arranging the cake, which is the most important thing in a birthday party. So I have just told two analogies, two solutions to arrange a birthday party. One is practically you are implementing it and then finally reaching the correct goal. Now, next thing is theoretically you are doing everything and doing the experiments, right? Now, as far as network designers are considered, so which one will be the best one? You will go for the first solution. So the first solution actually deals with the TCP/IP model. And the second one deals with the OSI model. That is, theoretically, everything you will make it correct, but practically sometimes it will go wrong. Okay. So the second one is the OSI model. Now, OSI is obsolete now because they don't know, they didn't know how to practically implement the concept. So, but theoretically, they were right. So some organizations, they have made all the writings, what are the things that is required to have a communication between two systems. So everything it is written. But you have to study the first OSI model then you can easily understand the TCP/IP model. So currently, the user community, the internet community, you are making use of this TCP/IP model. Okay, but you have to study OSI model also in your syllabus. Now, so I hope you have understood what is the difference between what analogy I have told, what is the conclusion I have made. One is practically proved, one is theoretically proved. Okay, so practical implementation, there was a drawback in the OSI model. Okay, now coming back to OSI model. OSI model is, I told, it is the organization that was who found out that was the ISO, and OSI is the group in that, or the model that is. It was first introduced in the late 1970s. Okay, now what is this open system interconnection model? Actually, this OSI models defines how data is transferred from one computer to another computer in a network. It defines how data is transferred from one computer to another computer in a network. Now, what is actually a network? Two systems, you are connecting it through a LAN cable with some connectors in it, and the data is transferred via a network interface card, and that forms the network. Now, what happens if one system the OS is Windows and the other one is the Mac OS? How they can communicate each other? And there comes the importance of the OSI model. Okay, so OSI model, it standardizes, it solves the problems of different architectures. It is a protocol where the communication is possible between the two systems. It can be within the network, within the two computers, or within a network, or within the different architectures. So I told two systems with different architectures, they can also communicate, and that model, that communication is not made possible by the OSI model. Okay, so this OSI model, it has got 7 layers in it. So the purpose of OSI model is to open communication between different systems. And you have got the 7 different layers of the OSI model. The topmost layer is the application layer. Next comes the presentation layer, session, transport, network, data link, and physical. I repeat, the 7 layers of the OSI model are the application, presentation, session layer, transport layer, network layer, data link layer, and the physical layer. Okay, so actually what are these layers actually? They are nothing but they are the packages of protocols. To have communication, each layer has to satisfy, or the communication takes place with the help of protocol. So each layer, it defines a package of protocols. Okay, so I told OSI model, it allows the communication between two systems with different architectures, or in a network, or with different computers. Okay, so I told the layering approach is used in networks also. Now, what is the importance of layering in network comms? As far as network is concerned, or network designers are concerned, what is the importance of layering in networks? The first one is ease of understanding, right? For the purpose of easiness, you are dividing it into different layers. The other importance is independence of working. You don't worry about the whole 7 layers and make use of, work on it, because each layer is independent to other layers. So you have got the independence of working, right? Now the third one is the development of each layer is separate from each other. If one layer, if I want to do something, then I can do in that particular layer without knowing what the other layer does. Okay. Now, and also reduces complexity. And developers can change the features of one layer without disturbing the other layers. And the layers, contents, and functions of each layer differ from network to network. And also, each layer offers services to the higher layers in the hierarchy. I told there is a hierarchy of tasks. So they will be making use of the services below the layer, immediately below it, and they will be providing the services to the layer above it. Okay, so because of that, layering concept has evolved. Okay, so that is very, very important in case of a network. You can easily identify where the fault is in which layer, how does each layer function, and how you can independently work on each layer. So all these are the advantages of layered approach, right? Okay, so this much is understood. I repeat once again, we were dealing with network models. Generally, layering mechanism is applied for networking. That is, two types of layering mechanisms are there. One is called the ISO OSI model, and the other one is called the TCP IP model. So OSI model defines how data is transferred from one computer to another computer in a network, whatever be their architecture. Maybe they will be making use of different architectures. So it defines how communication can happen. And actually these OSI model has got 7 layers. You have to remember all the layers name: application, presentation, session, transport, etc., up to the physical layer. Okay, so all the 7 layers will have different functions. So you should know what all these layers, actually your syllabus, the second module onwards, you are dealing with each layer. Your second module is dealing with the first 2 layers, physical and the data link layer. And the third module, it is dealing with the network layer. Like that, each functions are there for, there are functions for each layer. So you have to study hardly, in a deep sense, you have to study what are the functions of each layer. Okay, now each layer, there is a hierarchy of tasks there, and each layer have got its own functions, and you have to understand how it functions. Okay, so next class, I will be just telling how the interaction happens in an OSI model. How a data is delivered from the source to destination. What are the things that is happening in each layer? Okay. Understood? What is the basic difference between OSI and TCP, and what are the 7 layers in a OSI model network layering mechanism? Understood? Yes or no?
Miss. Yes.
Yes. Now today itself you read the textbook, because each time you will be simply hearing and going, nothing will be in your mind. So once you read the textbook, the concept will be very, very clear for you. Okay. Okay. Did you view your score?
Yes.
Yes. How many of you have got out of out? 10 out of 10. Nobody got? Okay, whatever it is. Let me check how much marks you have got. So prepare nicely. So as I told earlier, Wednesday, you will have a test paper. It may be a multiple choice question. It may be a descriptive thing. So whatever portions I'm just covering up to Monday, it will be there for the test. Okay. Now. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
താങ്ക് യു മിസ്.
Mm.
എടാ ഇനി എത്ര മണിക്കാ? ഇനി അടുത്ത ക്ലാസ് എത്ര മണിക്കാ?